Welcome to Ahmed Gassama Productions. Today's video is going to be a very important one about the policymakers in the United States. Today we are going to talk about the libertarians in America and their main political positions on the domestic level and the international one. In this episode we are going to delve into the principles of the movement, its history, and most importantly its current situation and its positions on multiple levels. So please stay tuned on Ahmed Gassama Productions. Before I start, I would like to point out that the Republican Party is divided into three main factions. First of all, we have the populists, led by, of course, Donald Trump, the one and only, and we have the neoconservatives with their political candidate Nikki Haley, and of course we have the Libertarians. And as I said in today's video, we are going to cover the libertarian stream. So first of all, what is libertarianism? Libertarianism is mainly rooted in the principles of classical liberalism. It emphasizes individual freedom, free market, minimal government, and most importantly, an opposition to militarism. Classical liberals mainly lean on philosophers including John Locke, Adam Smith, and Friedrich Hayek. So I'm gonna start with the values of libertarianism, and then we are going to move to its historical development, and finally, of course, we are going to deal with its current situation in the United States. The key principles of libertarianism are the following. 1. Individual liberty. Individuals should be free to make their own choices as long as they do not infringe upon the rights of others. This view is based on the harm principle of John Stuart Mill. That is, you can do whatever you want as long as you do not harm others. 2. Limited government. Libertarians advocate for a minimal state. The only job of the government is limited to protecting individual rights and maintaining a legal framework. Some went even further to defend the night watchman state, which works on providing citizens with the military, the police, and courts, thereby protecting them from aggression, theft, breach of contract, fraud, and enforcing property laws. They also declare that taxation is theft, so libertarians are more like anarchists in this case. 3. Free market capitalism. Libertarians tend to believe that free market capitalism is the most efficient and just system. There should be no deregulation of the markets. With this system would give businessmen big powers. As a result, all sorts of businesses will be allowed, starting from drugs, prostitution, pornography, and even sex toys. 4. Rule of law. Libertarians emphasize the importance of a just legal system that protects property rights, enforces contracts, and ensures equal treatment under the law. The rule of law here is not to defend the community, it is not to defend national identity, and it is not to defend human ethics, but rather it is to defend businesses and, as a result, businessmen. So under this system, businessmen can do and can take any road they want to gain money. 5. And most importantly, the non-aggression principle, in which they see that the use of force or coercion against others is inherently wrong. Libertarianism emerged in the midst of the 19th century as a left-wing political movement, with groups including anarchists, libertarian communists, and libertarian socialists. So this faction of libertarianism aimed to eliminate capitalism and private property. So what you have, I will take. So originally we can say that libertarianism is a left-leaning movement. However, in our case, libertarians here in the Republican Party are conservative. We may also trace libertarianism to the 18th century. In fact, the founding fathers fought for a limited government and for individual rights. We may also find these sets of ideas in the Enlightenment philosophy, which influenced the American Revolution. In addition to that, the anti-federalist movement was very skeptical of a strong government and emphasized individual rights. In the 19th century, during the westward expansion and industrialization, we started to have philosophers including Lysander Spooner and Benjamin Tucker, who rejected the concept of a coercive government and advocated free market. In the 20th century, right libertarianism emerged as a new movement. They advocated laissez-faire capitalism and private property rights. The movement emerged as a reaction to New Deal economics and was an attempt to revive classical liberalism in the United States. Here I would like to stop for 1 second because I made a pronunciation mistake in the previous episode by stating that the new right were libertarians. However, the new right and Ronald Reagan were neoliberals and not libertarians. In 1971, the Libertarian Party came into being in the United States. It aimed to provide a political platform for those who defend limited government, individual rights, and free market capitalism. Libertarian thinkers, including Milton Friedman, contributed to the development of the political movement. We also have another libertarian party, which is the Tea Party. The Tea Party is actually linked to the Republican Party and has emerged in 2009. Actually, they advocate for small government. They call for Christian nationalism. They are against abortion. They are against immigration. They are for the right to bear arms. But they don't have a clear and official position in regards to drugs and same-sex marriage. Some of them are against militarism. Others support military actions in Iraq and Afghanistan. So the movement contains a lot of libertarian ideals, but recently it has started to move towards Trumpism and populism. So going back to the Libertarian Party, so members of the Libertarian Party believe in same-sex rights, they defend transgender rights, they oppose the wars on drugs, they are supportive of immigration, so they are not for border security. So they don't have an official position regarding abortion. They are against government domestic surveillance, so they are against the Patriot Act. They are with the right to hold weapons and arms. They oppose environmentalism and climate change, and many of them believe that climate change is a hoax. They also say that parents, teachers, and students should be the ones who make the choices in regards of education, and of course it is not the government's job to do that. They oppose the death penalty. They say that parents have the right to raise their children according to their beliefs. So if an Islamic family wants to raise their children with Islamic values, then it is okay to do that. They support the criminalization of prostitution, as I told you. But the strange thing that they believe in the right of secession. So, for example, if the state of Texas wants to secede and separate from the United States, then it is okay to do so and establish its own state. They say that this is a principle which is found in the heart and the spirit of the United States, and this is very, very strange. Internationally, they are against interventionism, as I said. So they always say that we have always to put American interests at the forefront of our foreign policy. The interesting thing is that they say that we should stop supporting the state of Israel. In regards of the Israel-Palestinian conflict, they say that if our interests are with the Israelis, then we are going to stand with the Israelis. But if our interests are with the Arabs, then we are going to stand with the Arabs. Another interesting thing is that they want to cut ties with NATO, so they don't want America to be a part of NATO any longer. They always say that we have to be against wars. So in regards of the Ukraine war, they are against intervening, and they also say that we don't care if China invades Taiwan, and this is not our business. They are also for the withdrawal of American bases from the Arab world and from the world, in general. And they always say that the role of the military is to defend and not to attack. Here it's also important to bear in mind that individual members within any political party may have varying perspectives, but also it is important also to note that these are the prevailing ideas among libertarians in the United States in general. Moving on to libertarian politicians, we have the very famous, the one and only Ron Paul. Now, Ron Paul is very critical of the endorsement of dictators abroad. He is also very famous for his stance regarding Israel, as he wants the United States to stop supporting and funding the state of Israel. We also have his son, Rand Paul, and he's the only senator to oppose support for Israel. However, his position regarding same-sex marriage is not 100% clear. He said that he believes in traditional marriage, but the government should not intervene in this issue. We also have Ted Cruz. Now this guy is playing a very different game. He is very supportive of Israel. In fact, he said that those who hate Israel hate America, and those who hate Jews hate Christians. He is very critical of international institutions, including the United Nations and the World Health Organization. And unlike libertarians, he is very supportive of NATO. He dislikes Cuba, Iran, China, and Russia. Domestically, he is for the abolition of the IRS, which is an organization responsible for taxation. He favors the death penalty, domestic surveillance, gun rights, and border security. He opposes marijuana, environmentalism, and abortion. In regards to same-sex marriage, he took a diplomatic stance by stating that it should be left to the state to decide. As we can see, he doesn't share many libertarian ideas, despite seeking support from the Libertarian Party. And because of that, he was seriously attacked by Ron Paul, who stated that Ted Cruz, that this guy is no libertarian at all. So as we can see, there is tension between the two. At the end, this is a video of Ron Paul giving a speech to Congress in which he condemns American support to Israel. Finally, I would like to thank you for your attention, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.